We all have special powers. My job as a parent is to pay very close attention and notice as many of my children's powers as I can, that I may clear the path ahead when it ought to be cleared. Oftentimes the path making is their job, in which case my job is to remove myself to a proper distance, often the underbrush, where I must sit on my hands and bite my tongue. I'll take path clearing over hand sitting any day of the week. My daughter has a great many powers, but chief among them is her Olympic imagination, from which she draws a majority of her day's enjoyment. We're fortunate enough not to have stepped on it too much, though its care and feeding does pose a challenge. Leaving her to her own devices for long stretches of a time helps a great deal. The elder Brontes were onto something. We don't only leave them alone, though. Play acting figures large in their lives, and effortlessly so. Both their mama and their grandma are theater directors. So my children's world really is a stage, and most days I feel lucky to be a player in it. Reading great books to them, though, is my favorite gift to their imaginations. Peter Pan, Laura Ingalls Wilder, and Mr. Harry Potter, who entered stage right on a broom 3 years ago with no exuent in sight. It's mellowed over the years like a good relationship, but my daughter's passion for all things Potter was fierce in that first year. When we tucked her in at night, for instance, we had to take care not to squish Hermione, who would often be sleeping over. Ron and Harry, of course, were laid out on the floor on a blow-up mattress. One night, I had to set 3 extra places at the dinner table, a tight squeeze, not for Elijah and 2 of his lesser-known chums, but for, you guessed it, Harry, Hermione, and Ron. Fortunately, they were light eaters. I met my Hogwarts Waterloo one weekend a few years back when I was trundling the kids into the car for their gymnastics class. We were out of the house and at the street with just enough time to get to the class. I opened the car door for my son, then 4 years old, who dutifully clambered in. His big sister, then 6, pulled to a full stop on the sidewalk, wide-stanced, one hand a fist on her hip, the other clutching the handle of her bedraggled Halloween prop, an Airsats Nimbus 2000, now parked between her legs. "I'm going to ride my broom to gymnastics," she announced. She hadn't dismounted the poor thing since breakfast, and it was looking very much the worse for the wear. "Sweetie, you don't know the way there." "I'll follow the car, Baba." Silence as I dully plot my next move. "I'm not sure you know how to ride that thing well enough to be safe in the city streets." "Silly Baba, I'll be flying in the air above the car." It seemed an effort for her to refrain from rolling her eyes. "Right," I say. We went back and forth this way for a good 10 minutes, I kid you not. Me standing at the open car door, her on the sidewalk straddling her Nimbus. All the while her little brother sweetly drawing pictures strapped in his car seat, making mental note. You see, another great gift of my daughter's is a wisdom beyond her years, and she's wise to a great many things. Yes, she's wise to the ways of magic as conveyed by the sages in the House of Gryffindor, but she also knows that her parents are loath to dispute the presence of magic, both in the world and far more importantly, in her imagination. Figures such as Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy are magic personified. We meet her direct questions about them and their comings and goings and leavings with a now familiar prevarication. We're fuzzy on specifics, but, and I credit Fancy Flying Mama for this, we tell the truth. He is the spirit of Christmas, we say, meaning it wholeheartedly. All good theater, after all, begins and ends in the truth. Back on the sidewalk at the car, my daughter is in a motionless dance with me. She watches the clouds pass over my face, studying me as I measure my words. Just when I have given up hope that I will find any way to induce her into the car, short of hauling her up by the armpits, she hands me the biggest gift I could hope for that morning. She concedes that she could polish some broom flying skills at gymnastics, balance, say, and agility, and she accepts my proposal that she could practice flying in the field outside the gymnastics place after the class. I accept with caveats her counterproposal that if she has trouble with the broom there, maybe we can find a magic shop that will sell her an owl. That's the conclusion we've come to outwardly. Inwardly, I imagine she has gathered what she needed to gather that morning, that I will not say that she cannot fly. I cannot possibly bring myself to say that. Half because I can't bear to put even a hairline crack in the crystalline vessel that holds her imagination, and half because, who am I to know? If anyone could fly, held aloft by only the power of their will, this girl could. First star to the right, and straight on till morning.